Dannell Nicholson har vunnet 11 kamper på rad I løpet av en 2-årsperiode. Og da det ikke så farlig at han tappte for knockout for slagmaskinen Jeremy Williams I 1993. Det historie nå, og Nicholson ser bare fremover mot nye offere og nye høyder. Intet kan avbryte seiersrekken nå, sier en selvsikker Dannell Nicholson foran kveldens kamp.
In the red corner from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 215 pounds, with a record of 14 wins and 2 losses, 10 by KO. Wearing the black trunks with the gold trim, Anthony Willis. And in the blue corner, from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 217 pounds, with a professional record of 21 wins and 1 loss, 16 by knockout. Wearing the all-gold trunks, ladies and gentlemen, Dannell Nicholson. 10 rounds.
And let's go now to the AutoZone keys to victory.
Well, for Willis, slide inside the jab so he can get into punching room inside. That will set up the body punching. Nicholson, effective on the jab, punch on the angles, use the movement.
So now the keys. There is Anthony Willis. And that is Dannell Nicholson. And the referee, by the way, is not Johnny Familia. It is Terry Wood. So now we are up to date on literally everything. There is the knockout ratio, these two fighters, and Nicholson probably considered the bigger puncher. He has really filled out as a heavyweight since he competed in the Olympics as a heavyweight. He was probably around 200, 205 at that point.
And Willis has come up from 175 in his pro debut all the way up to the heavyweight ranks. He's put on 50 pounds and says with his 6-foot frame it handles naturally, but he is certainly the smaller of the two.
And Nicholson may have rocked him with the right hand early there. Dannell considers himself a boxer puncher. He, of course, lost to Jeremy Williams back in 1993, was knocked out early, but said to us, he said that was a loss. He was the better man that night, but I'm stoic about it. I decided I better get back to the drawing board. He's been working for about a year with Emmanuel Stewart. He's got a 10-fight win streak.
That's something that certainly wasn't expected by his people. They figured that would be a good matchup with Jeremy Williams, one that would go a lot of rounds. It didn't, so now he went back and took his time and would like to get into that realm again.
Dave, one of Nicholson's problems has always been he stands straight up and his head is a good target. And we're seeing evidence of that here, even though he's landing the good straight right hand against Willis. Nice uppercut.
Yeah, he's forgotten that for a moment, thinking he can out-punch Willis here. There's a good jab by Nicholson. He'll need to have that all night.
Nice hook downstairs. When he fought in the Olympics, he was still very raw, but still got to the quarterfinals and gave Felix Savan, the excellent heavyweight, quite a go, and many, including myself, thought there was a remote chance that he could have gotten that decision.
And Felix Savan, very highly regarded, along the realm of a Teofilio Stevenson from years ago, considered unbeatable. And that was a very good move for Nicholson to be there and make it that close.
Good right hand a moment ago. I think Dannell Nicholson is landing bombs against Willis. If Anthony Willis can get through these first couple of rounds, may have, good right by Willis. He may have a shot because he is getting whacked with everything big that Nicholson is throwing.
Well, thus far, Nicholson is treating him like a blown-up cruiserweight.
You're right, not worrying about Willis even hitting him with punches. So a good first round for Dannell Nicholson. And another right hand bounces off the head of Anthony Willis. And the jab of Nicholson, very, very effective. We head into round two. He is scheduled for 10, but as you heard Emmanuel Stewart in Dannell Nicholson's corner, doesn't think it's going to go that long. He says Anthony Willis, the 27-year-old from St. Louis, won't be able to stand up more than 2 or 3 rounds. We'll see.
Nicholson did set a nice brisk pace for the opening round, and it was really a picture-perfect round for him. The jab was there, the right hand behind him, but now see Willis here will give him something to think about. He'll try to smother here, get inside, and get that body work done.
Nice jab by Willis there a moment ago. Willis with a height and reach disadvantage. Much smaller man. As Dave said, he did come up from the light heavyweight division.
When you're facing somebody with a better punch and you've got the height and reach disadvantage, as you see Nicholson with a good edge there, you really cannot afford to make a mistake. If Willis comes in and doesn't do one thing exactly right and Nicholson catches him, it will be a huge price that Willis will pay.
Willis has fought his last 3 fights as a heavyweight. 2 are wins, 1 was a loss to James Stanton. Before that, he campaigned as a light heavyweight, in some cases just over it. They said they never really considered stopping at the cruiserweight division because they just didn't think he could make the weight.
And the money is in this division, so they went right for it. And this is by far the best puncher he's faced in the division thus far, so he's coming up to see what he can do.
I've given up on my long-standing crusade to convince fighters they should be cruiserweights. I've given up completely. They all want to be heavyweights anyway. Let them go through.
And that is the final word on the whole thing. Let's eliminate the division right now.
And I used to want them to stop. I thought 190, 195 was a good weight for a lot of guys. They don't want to. They all want to be heavyweights, so let them go. With my blessing. I'm sure they were desperately waiting for that. Good hook by Dannell Nicholson.
He was able to spin Willis around there. But the division did have a noble concept at its outset because it would be a good place to stop the fighters and learn the game. And saw fighters like Evander Holyfield stop there on their way up and do it very effectively. But money not there, the rivalries and matchups not there, so they go right up. And sometimes not to the best of benefit.
Under a minute left to go here in round 2, and Dannell Nicholson really whacking Anthony Willis. But you know, Willis is a little dangerous when he's against those ropes because he'll come back with some counter punches.
Yeah, he'll let you expend everything and then try for a bomb.
And while it's true that Nicholson has shown the stronger punches, Willis hasn't gone down or been close to it yet. Under a half minute left to go. Another big right hand by Dannell Nicholson.
He cannot miss. He's turning into his punches very well. Willis is there like a rock and taking it, but getting pounded.
So another huge round for Dannell Nicholson. We'll be back for more in round 3.
Watch reach being utilized here as though he takes a shot. Nicholson sets up his right hand and gets in there with a big punch.
We headed to round 3 in this heavyweight encounter. In the gold trunks, Dannell Nicholson. Black is Anthony Willis. Nicholson, the former Olympian, came in here at 21-1 with 16 KOs. And for Anthony Willis, he is 14-2 with 10 KOs. They sparred once before, less than a year ago in Chicago. They sparred 4 rounds. And neither man was exactly claiming dominance, but right now it's not a sparring session, and Dannell Nicholson's having his way, as Dave's scorecard shows.
And for Nicholson, it has been sort of a sparring session thus far, able to land his big bombs from the outside. But Willis is still there. Nicholson back straight up after a couple jabs by Willis and put himself in position to get hit.
He got whacked with 2 hooks. He might be hurt. Dannell Nicholson, well, he's still coming forward. Boy, he got nailed with 2 big left hooks. And there's a right. It's a war now. And Willis now thinks he's got something going. He might. Now Dannell Nicholson backing up for the first time in this fight.
And he backed straight up just before the trouble began. There it is again as he's backing up, and Willis is able to step straight forward and get more into his punches here.
Well, that's always been Dannell Nicholson's problem. He'll back straight up with his head straight up in the air. Anthony Willis is now emboldened to go after him.
And after surviving the first couple rounds, he's really gambling here, going after it. As he got Nicholson going straight back and took full advantage of the chance.
Now, we mentioned to you in the first 2 rounds, don't be misled, because if Willis gets through those first couple rounds and isn't knocked down or knocked out, he might be some trouble for Nicholson, and guess what? He has been.
Willis knows now that his power has shown up in this fight. He's made Nicholson aware of it. Let's see how that changes him as a fighter here.
He's even making Nicholson miss a little bit more. And what punch was it that started all this trouble? That was the hook. And for Willis, he can't afford to forget that punch. Although he's landing the lead rights, too.
And also the fact that he took advantage when Nicholson put himself in trouble by going straight back. He was there and should look for that opportunity throughout this fight.
So the plot thickens here in round 3, a round in which Anthony Willis might very well have won the round and certainly showed some power against Dannell Nicholson. Well, don't go anywhere. This could be very interesting.
Well, Willis gets a turn at the power podium here. Nice left hook, good work on the inside, and was able to slip a shot.
So we head into round 4 in what has turned into a very, very entertaining heavyweight encounter. We've had a number of those among the heavyweights we've shown in the last few months.
And whereas numbers often tell a story in a round, what you can't see out of those and measures the power shots of Willis, which I believe will give him the round, though he landed fewer because he had many more quality shots in there in those couple sequences.
Well, in any case, it at least showed it was a much better round for Anthony Willis. There's good body work. Nice combination by Dannell Nicholson. So he's being forced to fight back in a very aggressive way by Anthony Willis.
Well, Willis served notice last round to Nicholson that he could not afford to make a mistake. Let's see if Willis is going to force Nicholson here to be a more schooled fighter in the 4th round.
Well, Dannell Nicholson said, I don't know how close I am to something big. Oh, good right hand may have hurt Willis. It did. Said, I'm close to making something good happen. I might even be closer than I think I am. Of course, it's a heavyweight division that seems to be wide open right now.
Yeah, you can make a leap in a hurry with one big win or sign with the right person. You're there.
You're not referring to Peter McNeely, are you?
By chance? It is that kind of a division.
By the way, I had a nice chat with Peter in Las Vegas. There's going to be a nice piece on SportsCenter next week. And by the way, on Monday night, Outside the Lines on ESPN will be devoting its entire show to Mike Tyson and boxing in general. It'll be a very interesting show. The heavyweights heat up as we await Tyson and get ready for Bo Holyfield, Morrison, Lewis, and right now it is Anthony Willis getting whacked again by Dannell Nicholson.
Staying right there, and Nicholson backing up and firing some shots.
Willis jabbing his way in, which is kind of an important thing for him to do.
When he did that earlier, he was able to make Nicholson dart away, and when Nicholson darted away, it wasn't the right thing to do. He went straight back. So Willis has to set up some opportunities with his jab and then try to finish them off.
Of course, stamina and conditioning will play a role shortly, because this has been the kind of fight that would take a vicious toll on you. And as you go on, you're going to be tired. There's the hook by Willis. That drives Nicholson against the ropes, but now he's off it. So here in round 4, Nicholson gets himself back into a little bit of a better situation after what was for him a difficult 3rd round, but it continues to be competitive and interesting. We'll be back.
The elevator coming down here, but earlier tonight she just fixed me with a stare.
What a beauty. Well, Dannell Nicholson, a lucky man to have 2 such beautiful and charming ladies in his life, and they are watching him do battle against Anthony Willis. Big right by Nicholson.
That really got Willis's attention, and he's teeing off. You know, Willis dangerous when he's hurt, taking his best shot, but they both are now.
Anthony Willis able to take some huge shots, and every time he seems like he's hurt, Dave, as you pointed out, he comes back stronger, Willis.
It's instinctive to fight like that, and Nicholson, for a brief moment, went southpaw to try to get his right hook in.
I'll tell you one element of his attack since the last time I saw Nicholson, he's improved a lot, is his left hook to the body. He's really digging it, and there it is.
And Nicholson really opening up on that now, a 40-punch edge. Both fighters throwing quite a bit of leather. But it's been the edge for Nicholson. His left hook to the body has been good. His jab has been pretty sound tonight. And pounding down on the right hand. He hasn't missed over the top like many fighters do when they punch down.
And now we ask ourselves, did Nicholson punch himself out a little bit in the first part of this round 5? That happened to him in one of the other rounds as well, and Willis came back. Let's see if it starts to happen now. Is there a nick over the right eye of Nicholson? Hard to tell. Yes, there is, I think, a cut around the right eye. If it came from a punch or from a clash of heads. Good right by Nicholson.
And he showed the jab first, even though it didn't land. It got him moving forward, so he was able to get a little bit more on the right hand. What we haven't seen Nicholson do is first go to the body, then go to the head. He's been good in one area for certain periods of time.
Turns the right hand, again lands against Willis. I'm sure Dannell Nicholson is wondering, how on earth is Anthony Willis still standing? Shouldn't he have gone down at least once in this fight?
And Emmanuel Stewart promised it.
Yeah, he usually keeps his promises.
His corner man said he wouldn't be there by this juncture.
So if you keep this up, he definitely would be gone in 3 or 4 rounds. We're in the 5th, and Anthony Willis is not gone.
Emmanuel Stewart's nose grew a little bit.
Come on, let's go. Well, let's not say Emmanuel was lying. Let's just say he was mistaken. About a half minute left to go here in round 5, this 10-rounder. And Dannell Nicholson, the heavyweight from Chicago, batters Anthony Willis.
Willis real tired here. He's going to need an effort just to get through the rest of this. He is standing up and,
oh, he's in trouble.
Real tired.
Now he's in trouble. There are seconds remaining in round 5. Will he make it through the round? Terry Wood taking a very close look at this bout. There is Dannell Nicholson. Let's take a look at what they do with that cut.
If there was 10 more seconds, it's gone. Remember this, end of the round.
Your uppercuts are finding it good inside.
A good look here at Nicholson punching over the top and getting some excellent work done, and Willis having to pass a test in his corner here. They're very close to stopping the bout.
Come on, man.
As you look at Anthony Willis, you have to wonder, swelling around the right eye.
He's all right. He's
okay, he's fine.
He was really hurt in that last round.
Gotta pick it up. Pick it up, baby. Gotta pick it up. Pick it up.
Anthony Willis, who has come up from light heavyweight, fought 3 fights as a heavyweight, but facing a bigger man in Dannell Nicholson, and probably more of a true heavyweight. Nicholson came in here 21-1 with 16 KOs. Willis 14-2 with 10 KOs. And so far it has been the power of Dannell Nicholson that has been primarily the story here.
Well, Willis's corner bought him the entry into round 6 as he was outpunched badly in round 5. If there had been another minute left in that round when Willis was on the corner and breathing heavily, he would not have made it through. So they had to talk the referee into getting it into round 6, and now let's see what he does with it.
He's scheduled for 10. Nicholson has been 10 and has in fact been 12 in winning the IBO title against John Ruiz. Willis has never been past 8 in his pro career, so.
And you've got the layoff.
Yeah,
factors in here too.
Good point. The 14-month layoff we referred to at the beginning of the show. Good right by Nicholson. Willis comes back with his own right.
And if Nicholson could put a good combination together here, he could end it. Willis is stubborn and staying in there, not throwing much.
Good jab, set up the right by Nicholson. That was an excellent sequence for Nicholson. Well, Chicago has one heavyweight champion in Oliver McCall. He was in Chicago, and I'd like to get another shot at one with Dannell Nicholson since it's been a long time since Ernie Terrell in the 60s. Good jab, and now Dannell Nicholson looks like he is about ready to finish things here. That's a standing 8 count, which they have here in the state of Louisiana. Not badly called, I don't think, by Terry Wood.
Because they're at that point here, you could also call this fight now. Willis is talking to him, trying to buy some time as well. That's what the referee is looking at, the response, and he is satisfied this time.
See, and I like that because it gave Terry Wood a chance to look at it. In the meantime, it counts as a knockdown for Nicholson and against Willis.
They look in the eyes, they see the response, they see if you're right there and how quickly you can respond, and then it's not much long after that, they may stop it.
Now Willis is hurt, and the body work of Dannell Nicholson has helped. This should be stopped now.
Yes, it certainly should.
And now I think it will be stopped. That's it. Good work by Terry Wood. And good work also by Dannell Nicholson, that young man from Chicago. Nicholson with Emmanuel Stewart and his brain trust. There were some anxious moments in round 3, but Dannell Nicholson gets his 22nd win as a professional and gets it done with some flair.
And really knew that the opportunity was there to try to finish this fight, and he was able to do so. He turned up the heat, threw some big left hooks. Some right hands came in there too, and the shot that snapped back the head of Willis also prompted the attention of the referee and leading to the series of events in which this fight was stopped.
For Anthony Willis, who gets his 3rd loss as a professional, Dave, a lot to be said for the fact. I'll go back to the theory I wasn't going to espouse. He's in against bigger men. I don't know if Anthony Willis can punch hard enough to deal with heavyweights like this man, Dannell Nicholson.
Yeah, because Willis had it his way in round 3 and got a lot of things going, but was unable to sustain it. Now Nicholson, after shrugging off the round 3 difficulties, see the rhythm, the 2 left hooks, the right hand, he's turning into his shots. He forced some room for himself, stepping back to create punching room, and here he can feel it. Any kind of a decent puncher is not going to let this opportunity get away. Willis is stubborn, but his gas tank betrays him in this fight. Take another look at it. Nice right hand. That one caught the shoulder, and Willis couldn't even get up and stop that. Hey, when you're tired, you can't stop anything, and now all of these suddenly become big bombs.
And as you look at Dannell Nicholson, one thing you have to like about him, he's throwing much better combinations than he did before. Let's go up to ring announcer now. Let's get the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen,
hey, baby.
In 2 minutes and 26 seconds of the 6th round, the referee stops the bout. The winner by a technical knockout, Dannell Nicholson. Let's hear it out there for Nicholson.
Tøffe tak blant store karer, men Dannell Nicholson har fremdeles et stykke å gå før han kan drømme om å måle seg med de store gutta som Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis og kompani. Denne kampen burde han avgjort til sin fordel i løpet av et par runder. Motstanden var faktisk ikke bedre enn det. Vi er kommet til veis ende. Klokken er passert midnatt. Ha en fortsatt god natt. Takk for i kveld. Vi ses forhåpentligvis om en uke.